Okay, we're recording. All right, everybody. Hey, day 6 of our walk. We're in day 6 for our daily walk, our 100-day walk. Welcome back, YouTube. And hopefully you're gonna enjoy this walk like me. Pull out your cameras, your phones I should say, and plug in your headset and come on, walk with me. We're in direct sunlight right now. I sure hope I'm in the middle of the camera. I can't see until I can turn the corner here, or go around the edge, I should say. Alrighty, let's see. There, you're beginning to come back into focus. Hey, but we're here again on day 6. And day 5 went well. I tell you what, I'm beginning to enjoy this walk even more. All it took was just a couple of days to get over being winded and stuff, but it didn't take long for me to adjust at all. Yeah. Oh, you know what I was thinking about today? I literally saw a thing that was talking about the hottest pepper in the world. It was some kind of a pepper called a Scoville or something like that, I think it was a Scoville. Maybe 2 L's on it. But it is supposed to be the no. Scoville was the unit of measure, if I'm not mistaken. Scoville is the unit of measure where they measure the heat of those peppers. And I said to myself, I was going to actually, oh man, they got folks playing tennis over there. There's a lot of folks out here today, too. I mean, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pickleball. I said tennis, I meant pickleball. Out of 8 pickleball courses, all of them are loaded today. Everybody's out getting them some exercise in. But yeah, oh no. Here's what I wanted to say about those peppers. That is the Scoville. The measurement is like that was the measurement. Now that I think about it, that was the measurement. It was like 2 million. Was it 2 or 2.2 million? It was like 2 million Scovilles, and that's how they measured the heat. You know how hot the peppers are. And I'm like, man, I don't think I could ever eat anything like that. And what I did see too was they said that you have to be careful because that pepper is so hot. If you get some of it into your eye, it'll blind you. Think about that. Think about just getting ready for some regular old food, having a regular old meal, accidentally putting your hand in your face and going blind because it's the hottest pepper on earth. And before I'm done, I literally am gonna think about oh man, some pretty colors on these trees today. I'm gonna think about I know what it was called. That pepper is called Carolina Reaper. So if anybody ever want to give you a Carolina Reaper pepper, be careful. Don't take it because it is literally the hottest pepper. It is literally the hottest pepper on earth. Yeah, but yeah, we got a lot of folks circulating today, walking, getting their exercise in, and I am right with them, getting mine too. Yeah, you got some folks out there on the field, look like they're playing 1, 2, 3 red light. They're running and they're stopping and they're running. It's a group, 3, 6, 9, 10 people. But it looks like they've got a little thing going there, a little group thing going where they're exercising and stuff together. I was saying the Scoville, the Carolina Reaper pepper, look that up. If you're sitting at a PC right now, and you can keep this here up if you're doing this here live, if in fact you're at a PC and can pull this here up, pull up the Carolina Reaper pepper. Put pepper on there just in case, because I hear the word Reaper, think of like Grim Reaper and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's a Grim Reaper in Carolina, but put in Carolina Reaper pepper and see if it brings it up for you. But can you imagine that? Imagine if somebody accidentally exposed you to that. Here's an example. You're at some type of an event, right? And you're just expecting like regular food, but somebody brought some and said that they wanted to introduce a friend or somebody that's at the event to this, right? And they put it out on the table. And I think I'm gonna cut down through here. And they put it out on the table. And you're not expecting it to be real, anything real hot, right? Hey, I just found me a nice little watering. I'm doing we're just mixing up my walk here. And if you hear that little buffering sound in the background, that's a helicopter that's going overhead. It's like the second time I've seen a helicopter go by over the last few days. But but if somebody accidentally put that down, right? If they accidentally put that pepper down, man, somebody can get harmed. So, folks that handle those, I think they probably know to use caution, and it's probably not that easy to get to. It's probably controlled. Like, they can't let just anybody have one of those, man, because you have to be aware of what you're handling. Here's another example. I saw this picture of it, right? And it looks like a regular hot pepper, a regular red hot pepper. So just imagine, you pick up a pepper and you're like, oh man, I like red peppers. And you go, I know it's going to be a little hot, so you get your little water, you're preparing yourself, you're getting ready. But it's one of those instead, a Carolina Reaper. And then all of a sudden, man, you're burning up. You drink some water and you say, hey man, this water's not working. And you swish down more water. And you're like, oh man, my eyes are running now. And you switch down more water. And you go, hey man, I need something to buffer this heat. Give me some bread, give me something. Sugar. I don't know what you need, but what could cool your mouth off? I haven't had an experience where it was just burning my mouth up like that, but man, just in case, I'm like, I wouldn't even know what to do. I literally would not know what to do. I would not know what to do. So, boy, I'd be in trouble now that I think about it. I better learn something like that too, just to be able to prepare for an emergency, you know. It may not happen, you know, but I mean, it'd be good just to have his general knowledge, to know how to get out of that situation if you ever find yourself in it. But the Carolina Reaper, look that one up, YouTube. Look that one up. Be a good YouTuber and research that so you can go, hey man, I learned something on YouTube. And oh man, speaking of learning stuff on YouTube, that's the place to be. If you had, I think everybody has discovered it already, but I don't think anybody truly love it more than me. Here's what I mean by that. Man, I've saved a lot of money because people have gotten on, put up a video, and showed you how to do something, and you're like, oh man, I can do it myself. One example, I had an air conditioner to go out. Yeah, I mean, you know, I hadn't been formally trained on air conditioners or nothing. I mean, who has? I mean, most of the guys go to school for that stuff. But I hadn't been formally trained on, oh man, that's a nice little trail. I hadn't been formally trained on air conditioning units. But my air conditioner went out, right? And I'm like, oh man, what's wrong with this thing? And before I even called anybody, the first thing I did was, I just went to YouTube. What is that? Somebody's got something. They're either blowing dust. Yeah, that's dust. I thought it was gonna be smoke, but that's dust. Look like somebody's got the blower out. What was I just getting ready to? Oh, I lost my train of thought there. Lost my train of thought. But man, I just lost my train of thought when I got into that dust there, and kind of scratchy, you know, kind of scratched my throat a little bit, and I'm like, man, that sucker. And I mean, it's a big cloud of dust too. I mean, a big giant cloud. I'm just getting like the residue of it, but I'm looking at it through the sunlight, and it's a big cloud of dust there. Oh, where was I? I was talking about the peppers a minute ago. Hey, I lost my train of thought because I started thinking about showing you like a horseshoe range. I guess that's the way you can put it, where you know you have a like, you know, people pitch horseshoes, like pitching horseshoes. There's like a competition arena. I don't know if you call it an arena, but it's got like about, let me see, I say about 8 like lanes. That's what we'll call it, lanes. Competition lanes. It got about 8 competition lanes where you can actually pitch horseshoes, and that kind of distracted me. I was I had something good I was talking about too. But shoot, you're talking about easily getting distracted. I can easily get distracted at times because I'll have like 3 or 4 or 5 things going in my head at once, you know, just so I can tap into it all, you know. But yeah, I'm actually walking. What was I'm gonna capture what I was saying. I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. I'm not gonna forget what I was just daggone saying. That was important. Shoot, that was important too. I had a good subject matter. I can't wait to get back to the video to look at this here to say, hey man, what was I talking about when I lost my train of thought then? that dust messed me up, man. Made me lose my place. All right. Got the gnats out today too. They're everywhere. This week, got the gnats out, and boy, now that's something for you too. You ever have a gnat fly in your ear? It seems like this time of year, when I'm out there like cutting grass or just standing outside, like it's before you get dark, but after the sun goes down, dusk. When it's right at dusk, and those gnats are flying, man, I tell you what, that's one thing I still haven't gotten used to. Is still don't particularly care for gnats. They just bug you. They don't hurt. They don't bite. They don't do anything. They just bug you. It's like a pest. It's like a pest, man. It just bugs you to death. Oh, hey, do you see it? Do I want to walk this way? Nah, I think I'm gonna go take you this route. We're swinging all over the place during our walk. We're getting you to everywhere. We got your feet moving. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I had gotten off that care. Oh, I think that was it. I was talking about that pepper, and there's somebody putting the pepper, in an event, and you don't know it's there, you know. I was talking about that, and then I was like, it's probably controlled also in that, you know, those days are so dangerous, you know, because if it's so hot that it'll cut your breath off, or if you touch it with your hand, and then if you put your hand in your eye, it can blind you. That's a hot pepper. And that Carolina Reaper, don't play with it. Just don't play with it. I'm just saying, don't mess around. If anybody ever mentioned that to you, just say, hey, I want to keep 20 feet from that, because I don't want to take any chances with that one. At least that's my position. Oh, man. Cool. Yeah. Getting in a great walk. You can't actually ask for anything better. Oh, hey, I don't know if you noticed something, but I'm not huffing and puffing today. And I think with each day, I tend to get a little stronger. I remember day one, I was like sweating and puffing, and I was like, man, I'm exhausted. Wasn't tired, but that was like a good little workout, you know. And felt good to get off the couch. I got to admit, I'll mess around and start binge watching something, and before I know it, it's 2 weeks later. And I'm like, man, I just spent 2 weeks just chilling, doing nothing, just laid back watching movies, you know. And there are some that, you know, some movies that are just that good, you know. Mess around and get you a good one. Oh, they got the tennis going there. Oh, let me make sure I don't put the sun in your eye there. But yeah, whatever you do, beware of that pepper. Man, I tell you what, we've got a lot of people out today, which is good. You know, you're circulating with people, you know, and it makes your walk fun, you know, makes it funner, much more fun. And you know, it makes me think of something else also. I was thinking about telling this story about it. I was like, hey, what are some topics you can talk about while you're on your cross-country trek? And you know, one of the things that popped up, and that was I read this thing that you ought to share like some memories, like old memories and stuff, and that'll kind of keep people interested, you know. And I'm like, oh man, you know what? I think I've got a good one. And the one that jumped out at me more than anything was the one about 1 year I was on vacation, right? I'm over in Germany, and I'm on vacation, and we go to King Ludwig's Castle, and this is in, Lake Kimchi, Germany. That's where it is. Almost forgot about that, and that's a good memory. I don't want to ever forget that. We went up there, and it was me and some friends, you know. At the time, I was a military soldier. That's why I'm in Germany at this particular time, right? And we go up there, and once you're inside of the castle, there is a section where you can look over the edge. Like there's a wide wall. I'm gonna say, about 3 feet wide, maybe 4 feet tops, but let's just say 3 feet wide. And I went up to the edge of it. You know, I didn't really want to look over it because I'm like, man, I don't want to take a chance of falling over this sucker. So what I did was I went up to the edge. I'm with a guy named Gerald Lindsay, right, old friend of mine. And I go up to the edge and I peep over. I'm like, hey, man, you don't want to fall down there, man. That's like death, you know. It was a long fall. So I peeped over the edge, and he was like, come on, man, don't be scared of it. And I was like, no, man, I ain't playing around with that. I don't like that kind of risk, you know. And he goes, come on, man. Come on, take a look at it, you know. And he was all into it. And I was like, Lindsay's brave or bold. I'll call it boldness versus bravery. But he was bold. From Auburn, Alabama. One of my good friends. And he convinced me to come all the way up to the ledge and look over it. And I was like, man, I don't think I could ever live in the castle. Because inside of those daggone castles, man, shoot, if you have one escape route and have to go that route, you're out of luck. There's no jumping down and landing on your feet from that. Oh man. But it's no jumping off that edge and landing on your feet. Nope. That was too steep. But nonetheless, I'm going uphill now. And as a matter of fact, once I get up to the top of this hill, I'm just going to turn around. That was a good little hill to climb up. It is. Yeah. The sun's peeking out again. peeking his head from around the trees there. Got on my DKNY shirt. Hey, I haven't had that angle. That's a good angle. I better stick with the procedure. But that was a good angle. All right. Let's go ahead, and we just came up a nice little hill. Worked out the cardiovascular system a little bit. You know, when they talk about cardiovascular, they make it sound scientific. Won't they just say your heart? I guess the cardiovascular system helps them pay for their medical school, man. Because I'm sure that it was pretty daggone expensive going to med school. Yeah, it had to be pretty expensive going to med school. And you know, man, I look at med school. You know, it takes 8 years to become a doctor, and then you don't get a chance to well, here's the way I think. Here's the way I think it works. You have to go through 8 years of training, and then you have to do like a residency for 2 years, I think. Have to do a 2-year residency. And think about that, man. Well, whoever's looking at this, but just think about that. You have to do 10 years of training. Just say if you want to be a heart surgeon or something, before they truly say that you're an expert. And you know, that's good though that they have those qualifications in place, because I was that on radio? I was listening to it on the radio. That's what it was. It was this past Sunday. I'm listening to a talk show, and this guy comes on and he's talking to the host, right? And he says to her, hey, and this, I still can't believe some people think like this here, but listen to this here. He goes, hey, the medical profession shouldn't be regulated because of there is a law of nature that you should be able to survive, like put together your own way of working. And if you're good at something, you don't need to go through all of the certification processes. And he gave the example of a dentist. And he said that, hey, if I'm able to be a dentist, I should be able to, without a practice, work on somebody. Because if they choose to come to me and know that I don't have a license or a practice, that means that they chose to go to a doctor that wasn't as qualified. And he said that should be their right. And it should be, he said it should be his right to earn money. And I mean, he was almost persuasive. He was talking a good game. I mean, he literally was like almost convincing. But I said to myself, man, if you had that stuff going on, you have all kinds of scams going on. You have all kinds of people saying that they could do X, Y, and Z and not be qualified to do it. And all of a sudden, they're harming more than they're helping. Like, say, for example, let's use the dentist for an example. You have a guy that is a, hey, I think I'm gonna throw this here tennis ball. I wonder if this is a tennis ball. No, I'm not going to pick it up. I was going to throw that tennis ball back over there, but this pickleball people here, so that tennis ball had to come down there. Nah, I'm not going to mess with it. I'll just leave it laying there. Back to what I was saying. You can do more harm than you can do good work. Here's an example. You can say that, I think I'll be able to do this here successfully. But a lot of things come with practice. And while you're practicing, people can get hurt. Here's an example. Here's another example. What if in his scenario, he said, let me check the time. Let me check the time real quickly. Let's see what we have here as far as time. What? We got about 5 minutes. What I was saying is in his particular scenario that he was trying to use, he could do more harm than because what if he didn't follow protocol and all of a sudden that person developed infection in a tooth, for an example, since he wanted to be a dentist with no training. If a person ended up with infection in that tooth, back in the old days before antibiotics were like prevalent, people would die from infection. I think it's called sepsis. Sepsis or something like that. Dog, I can't think of the word. But they would sepsis is the word. That's like a poison in your bloodstream. That's what an infection is. That's the infection in your bloodstream. And if he wasn't able to treat that, he just made somebody worse. They went from having a toothache to buying the farm or pushing up daisies. Whatever you want to, however you want to classify it. They just passed away from a toothache. So my position is keep things in place, keep things regulated. Don't let these nuts be thinking that they can go out there and do stuff without some supervision, because they'll come off the shelves and everybody will claim to be a doctor and don't know what they're doing. So his argument that he presented, I'm not buying it. I am not buying it. So he had his platform. It was a Sunday radio show. He spewed it. Sounded like an educated guy too. I mean, he was almost convincing for a few moments, because he looked like he did his homework before he came, onto the show. And it sounded like he had some notes in front of him, quoting stuff like medical establishments and stuff. So he did sound persuasive, but at the end, didn't win me over. It did not win me over. So I had to tell that story. That was one of the, I said, look back at some things that happened in your past and then try to do. I think I had one of them gnats to fly in my mouth, man. And it wasn't barbecued. It was just a plain old gnat. If it had been a barbecued gnat, I probably wouldn't complain as much, but I didn't taste any sauce. It didn't even have sweet and sour sauce on it. But we're gonna go ahead and call this here a end of walk routine for you, and say that we hope you enjoyed it for the day. And YouTubers, Come back and join us tomorrow for, today is day 6. Come back and join us tomorrow for day 7. Till we see you, take care of yourself.